You know, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Sometimes I really do feel bad for all the Karens out there that, their name has just kind of become synonymous with this entitled, spoiled brat, my feelings matter more than everybody else in this bitch, person. But today we're gonna be reacting to a Karen, an actual Karen, by the way, that realizes she's going to jail for murder. Now, I don't know if this is just one or two or three clips that we're watching, but let's get right into it.
Karens usually think they're immune to consequences.
It's true.
But what happens when these same entitled Karens get arrested? These are three of the most shocking and
we got three. That one in the middle, she's got a good look to her. I like her. You can tell she's feisty. You can tell.
satisfying examples of when evil Karens realize they've been arrested.
No, the one all the way to the right is kind of cute. I ain't even gonna lie to you, but her Karenness is probably gonna make me really rethink that.
With Sarah Boone, who was accused of killing her husband Jorge by locking him in a suitcase and leaving him to die. Sarah was quickly brought in for interrogation to determine if she was really as evil as
I've seen this case. I've seen this case.
So he had some injuries to his left shoulder. He had a cut near his lip. We could see his mouth was a little.
I haven't laid a hand on him.
Wow.
Okay. What about the scratches?
Wow.
Because there's also sex.
Yes.
Okay, that was actually a good. That was good. You might be able to get away with that, but I doubt it.
Okay.
Because the rest of the shit is there. He's packed in a suitcase. We know he didn't get himself in there. Because I've never tried it, but I would imagine it's very hard to just kind of step into a suitcase and kill yourself.
There's also like a scratch on like the back of his neck, like kind of like but it's like going straight across.
I have no idea what that's from. In all honesty.
Okay, playing dumb. Okay, playing dumb.
We have not gotten into it.
Okay.
That's why,
denying
one
all
thing I thought you guys
charges.
were going to ask me about, which I was going to be honest with you anyway, are the scratch marks on his back.
Mm-hmm.
You scratch your husband's back.
I have no idea what it is.
Yesterday, when we took photographs of your overall body, and they did the buccal swabs, did they go under your fingernails?
No.
Okay. Are you willing to let us
Absolutely.
swab underneath your fingernails?
Go for it.
Okay.
Seems like an odd request to ask if they can swab underneath Sarah's fingernails, but it could actually go a long way in determining how Jorge got these.
Jorge? Damn, that's Jorge? He ain't a bad looking dude, or he wasn't. I mean, shit, I don't know what he doing with a girl like this. I know he can get way better than some fucking Sarah Boone out here locking him up.
Injuries. Since the injuries were fresh, it's a strong possibility that forensics could find dried blood or skin cells underneath Sarah's fingernails, which would put her dead to rights. But unfortunately for Sarah, they have some other evidence that took a lot less effort to find.
Do I have to watch this?
Oh, they gonna catch her?
I continuously throw up. I don't sleep. I don't want to see it, if that's okay.
Well, it's on your phone, and you can either explain it or we take it for what it is.
Yeah. We're just trying to get
I don't want to see it. The hell?
For everything you've done to me. Fuck you.
Wow.
And this
Fuck
is,
you.
that's you.
Wow.
Your voice.
Stupid.
Did she really just film her own crime and not delete the video?
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
I don't want to watch it, please.
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
The video showed Jorge in the
She don't wanna
suitcase
watch it.
begging to be let out while Sarah taunted him from the
I bet your husband didn't want to be in that suitcase, man, but you didn't give a fuck.
outside. The police couldn't have asked for a better piece of evidence, especially as it came directly from Sarah's own phone.
So this is upside down. So in order for him to have gotten into it,
It was flipped up.
right, it was flipped up normal.
Yes.
Like as if you're packing something. So this is upside down.
Guys, this is killing me right now.
Sarah is obviously trying to maintain her innocence by telling the detectives that the video is distressing to her. But does that really sound like a woman who's being shown a video of her husband dying? While everybody will have a different reaction to trauma, it's difficult to imagine her reaction is a single deadpan sentence that sounds like it was delivered only to show some amount of concern to the cops.
I don't mean to sound negative, and I don't know if I can say this,
She don't wear
but it's like you guys are kind of trying to feed me.
No, I'm just trying to show you a video that you no longer want to watch because you probably don't want to know the outcome of how and what you said.
Well, I know what.
You know what's on that video now?
No.
You remember making that video?
Oh.
Why don't you remember making the video?
Probably because we had been drinking.
Oh,
But you weren't
right.
drunk.
Yeah.
Sarah is desperately trying to explain this video away, but in doing so, essentially admits that it is her recording and that she left him alone in the suitcase afterwards. Given that Jorge died from her neglect, this at least constitutes a manslaughter charge. But she's really not doing the best job of convincing the detectives that this was an accident.
What do you think is going to happen if you leave somebody in a confined space like that?
Well, I thought by not zipping it up all the way, it would be okay. My plan was not to leave him in the
And what was
suitcase.
your plan?
Waiting for him to come upstairs.
And then when he did it?
I fell asleep.
You said you were up there 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, somebody not coming up.
Knowing that the last time you saw him was in the suitcase, 30 minutes
This
later,
is
you're like,
irresponsible as fuck. Like, why would you put your husband? That is so emasculating. Is that the right word? Emasculating? Something like that. Like, why would you ever let your girl put you in a suitcase, Jorge? Like, I'm sure he can't be smaller than her. Like, he must be able, like, if he really wanted to, there's no way she should be able to overpower my man's Jorge. So clearly, you know, Jorge just, maybe he loved her. You know, he just kind of, he's more submissive towards her maybe sometimes. You know, he lets her do what she want to do. You know, sometimes that kind of dynamic can exist in a relationship. But, man.
maybe I should go check on him. Maybe I shouldn't.
No.
SMH, bro.
But that didn't cross your mind because
That's
it
like
didn't happen.
that's like an assumption. Like that's what you all are thinking. Just
We're asking.
it's
An
the
assumption.
Sarah spends almost 2 hours in total desperately trying to manipulate the detectives and explain away the damning evidence the detectives have shown her. But ultimately,
This
the
is
detectives
damning
remain
evidence.
completely unfazed, and they decide that they've heard enough.
Do you promise and swear that everything we've talked about today has been true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, but it was not intentional.
Okay. Okay.
All right, do me a favor, stand up,
Why is this happening?
because George is dead.
Not intentionally.
We
Not
understand that.
He's still dead.
intentionally. He's still dead, yeah.
Well, we don't
Someone
really
needs to
understand
call
that.
Brian, please.
Okay.
Or can I not make a phone call?
You'll be able to make a phone call when we get you down to the jail.
So why
You'll
is
be
this
afforded-
happening? So this was a trick.
No, it's not
No,
a trick.
not
How's
a
it a
trick.
trick? Your response to everything was basically, I didn't do it.
Intentionally.
Doesn't matter. He's still dead.
Sarah was
Yeah,
charged
it
with
doesn't
second-degree
fucking matter.
murder and is facing life in prison. As of this video's upload, the trial is still ongoing.
Okay.
But
Facing life in prison, that's fair.
that's nothing compared to what the cops had to do with Sean Malarkey, a 45-year-old woman who was
My
arrested
goodness,
for
she
domestic
looks kind of
violence
crazy.
after
I'm
she
sorry, I don't want to judge off of looks, but she kind of looks kind of crazy.
allegedly hit her ex-husband with a car. However, when the cop approaches to take
Husband?
her into custody, things go south immediately.
Ma'am, step up.
Excuse me.
Step up.
No, excuse me.
Step
Put
up.
your hands off of me.
Step
Wait,
up.
what she just
Cop approaches to take allegedly hit her ex-husband with a
Oh
immediate
shit! Hold on, I completely had missed that part. Hit
Hands
her
off of
husband.
me.
Step out of the car right now.
No.
You're under arrest.
No, I am not.
Yes, you are.
No, I am not.
Yes, you are.
How the hell did they
Malarkey's
find her
behavior
still?
is erratic and her tones aggressive from the off.
Why did they find
children
her
are in the
still
backseat
in
of the
her car?
But this doesn't seem to affect how she handles the encounter, and things
Wait, you ran over your husband with your children in the back? Hold
only
up.
get worse.
I will tase you if you don't get out of the car.
You better take your hands off of me right now.
I told you you're under arrest. Get out of the car.
Why?
Because you have a warrant.
I just sent a message and I am... Excuse me.
Get out of the car right now.
Excuse me.
Did somebody say that you could come into our...
Asking the cops who gave them permission to enter the property is a common tactic in situations like this one. But for the suspects, the reality is that the police are well within their rights to enter property uninvited so long as they have a warrant. With a second officer's assistance, Malarkey is removed from her car and cuffed. However, this is where things get even worse.
You did this.
No, I didn't do anything.
Andy asked you to come out.
Excuse me?
Andy asked you to get out of the car.
No, Andy yanked me.
I yanked you because I told you you're under arrest and you refused to exit your vehicle.
Are you going to stand up and be cooperative?
Are you gonna understand that my attorney has filed a motion to quash this? Has filed
We're
a
going out here,
motion
this way.
to quash this.
You hit us, you do anything stupid towards us, and we're any
Excuse
charges
me?
on. If you hit us,
Excuse me?
or anything, let's go.
You've already hit me.
I didn't hit you. I asked you out of the car. I told you you're under arrest. Now you got a whole show for your neighbors here.
Even restrained, Malarkey's attitude does not change at all. The cop then smells alcohol on her breath, which may explain some of the bizarre behavior.
You are a shitty f***ing human being. You throw somebody down in front of their children? What the f*** is wrong with you?
Sit down! I told you.
You piece
Sit
of
down!
shit. You know what? You are the piece of dirt.
Wait, so hold on. He's throwing you down in front of your children, but let's just hope that you didn't run over your husband also in front of your children, because which one's worse? Well, actually, it's actually just a long day for their children. They need to be taken away from her. Because if the children were in the back when she got run over, and now her mom's getting yanked out of a car, you know what I'm saying, resisting arrest, that could be potential, you know what I'm saying, trauma.
Putting on if you were on fire.
I smell an odor of alcohol on your breath.
No, that's my.
That's your.
I'm on you.
Okay.
She defies the officer's orders and tries to leave the vehicle, then makes a point to single out the cop who initiated the arrest.
Get your f***ing hands off me.
We see situations like this often, where a suspect will target one
Hands off me.
Get your fucking hands off.
We see situations like this often, where a suspect will target one member of law enforcement and use them as a scapegoat. This is typically followed by legal threats, so they're likely targeting the officer they feel they could best build the strongest case against. However, this wouldn't work all too well.
Get your f***ing hands off me.
Cool out. If you keep resisting.
Get your
What the
Dad.
fuck?
You know what? I'm gonna charge you with putting your f***ing dirty ass hands on me.
Stop moving. Let him take off your watch.
Malarkey then goes on to make violent threats to the officers. Pay
Let me
attention
take
to
off
how
your
quickly
watch.
she tries to change the conversation after her most extreme threat.
You know what? No. Do you know what he's done?
Stop kicking us.
Yo, just casually gets grabbed from behind. Look at this. Just the moment we do that.
Stop kicking us.
I'm gonna kick you right in the f***ing
That's mean. Don't do that.
I like how he's still being really nice to her. You know, you notice how the cop was like, "I'm gonna charge you for that." Like, if if anybody else that was not like a small white woman would have probably tried to bite his hand. I ain't trying to get political, but I'm just saying. Everybody else tried to bite his hand, he would have been like, "Bitch!" But to her, he was just like, "I'm gonna charge you for that. I'm gonna charge you."
You are dead.
What's that?
Death threats to an officer?
No. What'd you say before that?
Face is
You said I am dead? What do you mean by that?
getting. You are
Elaborate on it if you mean it.
you. You're getting sued.
She continues making the cops' lives difficult by pretending
She
to
knew
have
not to
trouble
say that
getting out of
again.
the car, though it's clear from her movements that she's not actually trying. She blames the tape on her ankles and says it's the cop's fault she tried to kick him.
Put your feet. No. Put your feet down there.
It hurts too much. You could just take it off.
Okay, no.
No, you're gonna kick it.
No, what am I? I'm a fucking 100 pounds. You think I'm gonna take a 200-pound dude?
Well, you've already kicked at us a lot of times.
Why?
You're not gonna win.
Why?
You're gonna hurt us.
Why? Because that guy right there.
The one you
this-
tried to bite?
Okay, Sean, let's go.
Why? Could you ask yourself a question?
Sean, put your leg
Why?
She was charged with aggravated assault of an officer and aggravated DUI. This was her third DUI with a child passenger.
No, take the
Soon
children.
after this
Take the
arrest,
children.
she was also charged with endangering the life or health of a child and
Yep.
violation of a bail bond and received a misdemeanor charge for resisting or obstructing an officer. The suspect in our next case
So what
was
happened to? Is there a hit and run charge there? Because I thought at the beginning they said that she ran over her husband.
not so lucky. This suspect's public outburst takes place on a plane ready for takeoff. Prior to the footage, she's been asked
so
to
many
leave
of these have
multiple
been
times
coming
due to
out.
her refusal to wear a mask during the pandemic.
Hello.
This is to be expected, though. You could have expected this.
Yep, you're gonna have to get off the aircraft,
Yeah,
okay?
and you're out there,
Yep.
and I compliment you in that way.
But she's a representative of the aircraft. They don't want you flying on their plane today, okay? So
She cannot be in a normal conscious state, right? Like,
you're gonna have to get off
After
the
they made
aircraft.
us wait and wait and wait.
Yeah, that's the way it is. But right now, I'm gonna
And
need you.
that's fine, and I will respect that.
Okay. So I'm gonna need you to grab your bag and just
And I
step
did
off
not
the
She seems
aircraft.
drunk.
Actually,
She seems
talk
drunk.
about it outside.
Disruptive. Besides, speak my mind.
Okay.
And you know what? I live in America, and that's what fucking America's about.
calm down.
No, you know
Listen to
that.
me. Grab
no,
your bag.
you know that.
When she's asked to grab her bag and leave, she says something truly weird. The suspect has a lot of strange mannerisms and seems to have very severe mood swings. Pay attention to how her expression suddenly changes and how she seems to rapidly experience a wide range of emotions throughout the encounter.
Okay, that's
No
fair.
one's gonna put their hands on you.
All right, you
Grab your
won't.
bag and
Yeah,
just step off
you
the
won't.
Okay, but I need you to get up.
No.
Okay?
You know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of Joaquin Phoenix when he played the Joker. Like she's showing like kind of his kind of mannerisms and a
You
little
Grab your
bit.
bag and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
step off
you
the
won't.
Okay, but I need you to get up.
No. You
Okay?
need me to get up? You may need me to get up, but you know what I feel my need to do as a person? Just like Jesus motherfucking Christ.
You need to calm down.
No, I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm gonna say what I need to do. And if you're gonna do whatever you feel you need to
Okay.
do to me, right?
You
So I'm
ready?
gonna say what I have meant to say.
Yeah.
No, to everybody.
Stand up, man.
Yeah, everybody is
You're
doing
gonna
this.
get arrested if you do not
I'm
stop.
already gonna get arrested.
You're gonna
The police warn the suspects that if she doesn't cooperate, they'll have to put their hands on her. Her response is dramatic. She also latches onto a supposed promise one of the officers made, that she wouldn't be arrested if she gets off the plane.
Here's what's happening. They're gonna deplane the aircraft. I'm gonna take you off the
That was
plane,
already happening. Don't.
and you're going to jail.
It won't happen
Okay.
if you get up and walk out with me right now.
Yeah.
But if you're not
I
going
don't
to,
trust
Yep.
that.
That's how it's gonna work.
Do you see how that's
Fair.
a
That's fair.
system?
That's the way it is, man.
Not cool.
Are you
I
gonna-
want to trust you. You want to trust me? That's not healing. We're not healing.
The suspect is led from the plane and placed under arrest. Her reaction is childlike. She cries in an
Yeah.
unconvincing way and seems to feel that the experience has violated her human rights. Listen to her describe her actions. The way she seems to think she acted is far from the truth, but it's hard to say whether she's deliberately lying or
This isn't so strange because this is just casual America. Like in America, you don't like nobody here wants to be told what to do. This is to be expected, bro. Like people take their rights way too seriously.
there's something more to
That's
it.
fair.
Okay. Come with me.
She clearly just maybe she's not. Maybe there's a chemical imbalance somewhere, right?
The suspect continuously switches between claims of being victimized and anger towards the cops. She seems to feel that she's been personally wronged and that one of the cops lied to her to get her to comply. She accuses this cop of not wearing a mask himself.
How is anyone gonna stop anything when you lie to them?
You have your chance, ma'am.
I had my chance. You
asked
didn't even
you-
give me
I
a
asked
chance. I
you-
looked at you in your eyes,
asked you
and
10
I knew
times.
you were lying to me. I saw you outside before I even came in with your mask off.
Once again, we see a case where the person being arrested decides to single out a particular officer to blame for everything. The suspect refuses to cooperate with a particular
I
cop.
saw you, but did she just say I saw you outside with a mask on? So does that mean he put it on? Can't really make a case for that.
But says they're willing to comply with other members of law enforcement.
All right. Ready?
At least she wasn't racist. I've seen way worse.
Step out. Are you gonna comply with everybody?
with you too, yes. Not with you, because you're a liar.
Towards the end of the arrest, she repeatedly says things that seem to come out of nowhere, including the suggestion that a nurse there to check on her is attracted to the officer she has an issue with.
Here, let me get your temperature at least.
Oh, you think he's cute? Oh, yeah, I thought he was cute too. I looked in his eyeballs and I thought he looked into my eyeballs, and then he abused that.
Her unpredictable mood and irrational reactions continue
Yeah, I
up
like her.
until the video ends with her saying that the fact that she can't relax is the fault of law enforcement. Seems likely that there are some psychiatric issues at play here, though. Without
There
a
is
professional
definitely some
opinion,
psychiatric
it's hard to
issues.
say for sure.
But that's okay. Everybody has issues. You know what? I don't hate her. I don't. You know what? At least she wasn't like super racist or anything. She was just showing a bit of like she's just a bit
Karens
You know.
usually think they're
maybe has a few screws loose and just has a little bit of entitlement. Other than that, I've seen worse. But there you have it. Justice is served. Karen's going to jail. One for murder, one for a DUI, and one for kind of just obstructing the peace. You know, refusing to just simply put a mask on. It is what it is. There'll be a Karen. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like these people. She really truly embarrassed herself in this plane. I mean, she doesn't, I don't know, it's just, it's kind of odd to see somebody that doesn't realize that they're making a fool of themselves. You're just like, ugh, you can almost feel like secondhand embarrassment for them. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna end it right there. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.